Module 3 is paying attention, increasing awareness. Attention is the first step in the learning process. We can't understand, learn, remember, or change that which we don't first attend to. Attention allows us, attention or focus, allows us to plan or preview and monitor or regulate our thoughts and actions. About a week ago, when I was in the midst of creating this course, in the middle of the night, I woke up and I thought, oh my gosh, a lot of these ideas that I've spent and said were green light words, red light words, etc. I thought of the game some children used to play, red light, green light. And although the game itself isn't quite analogous to the point I'm making here, so I won't say anything more, the whole idea was just that feeling of just those words really now. Green light, of course we go, we move forward, and red light, when we see the red light, we stop. So anyway, with that in mind, that morning, I thought I had purchased, silly me, these red and green sticks a while back, and I think that's what these were for. So what I have right here is we're going to just do a little activity about attending to and seeing if we can identify how red versus green makes us look, feel, and what is said if we're in red or green. So I'm going to pick a stick. I'm not going to show you what it is first, but I'm going to have you visualize how your body feels. And do you think that the behavior that's listed is something that's going to stop your life in its tracks, or is it going to keep you moving? Is it going to be something positive that moves you along and brings you joy? Okay, so let's do one. So I'm picking one out to read down here. Is oblivious to is oblivious to nonverbal communication. Okay, I'm feeling about this, and I'm feeling if I were doing this, or if I was around somebody that was doing that, I would have more negative thoughts because I would feel kind of frustrated. And it feels like a red word. And sure enough, it's red. It'll kind of just stop us if we're not aware of or attending to how signals people are giving us. Okay, let me choose another one. Fortune telling, predicting the worst. So fortune telling is something that some people do. Kind of related to the negative thoughts that people have one day are the same thoughts they had the day before. So fortune telling is always thinking the worst. Oh, I think that's not gonna work. Oh, no. So, gosh, already as I'm saying it, I'm thinking, gosh, that's not gonna move me very well if I'm stuck on that idea. It doesn't feel very productive. So let's decide if it's going to be a reactive thought that keeps us stuck, or is it a green thought, green light living that's moving us forward? Let's check. Sure enough, it's on a red stick. And ironically, the first two are red because we have more negative thoughts in our lives than green. I'm not even looking, so I don't know what I'm picking out. It'll be interesting to see if that is true with the sticks. Oh. Well, I picked a green, so that's not. I'll pick a different. Let me just look again because I don't want to. Okay. Here we go. Has personal responsibility. Well, I like being around people who have personal responsibility or take personal responsibility. I know that I feel better if I'm taking personal responsibility. I'm not blaming others. I'm seeing what part I played in something or what I could do differently next time. So this is making me feel good that I'm learning something. And I think I'm making others around me feel good this way. So I would say this is a green light living kind of idea. And sure enough, it is. I like the number 7, so we have 4 to go. Just going to stick with that. And here we go. Oh, that one's blank. I thought I sorted out all the blank ones. Looks at the negative side. Already, I'm just feeling stuck, looking at the negative side. I mean, where's that going to get me? Yeah, I'm not problem solving if I'm looking at the negative side. I don't know if that's helping me move forward. So I kind of feel uncomfortable when I say this and even visualize it. Visualize looking at the negative side. Well, who's that helping? So I'm going to say it's probably, if I'm in your world listening, a red word or idea. And sure enough, it is. Okay, 3 to go. Mind reading, making assumptions, the belief that you know what others are thinking. Oh, I know he's like mad at me, or I know she is against that, or I know. It's, again, mind reading. You don't know, you have no idea what they're really thinking, but you're making assumptions and deciding it. I'm already feeling uncomfortable about that. I'm kind of, my heart feels like it's racing because I'm thinking, oh, I don't really like to be around people that are making assumptions about me. And so I'm going, yeah, it feels pretty red. Let's see. And sure enough, it's an idea or set of ideas that keep us stuck. It's an obstacle we're putting in our way. It's no headway. We have 5-2 to go. I don't know if you saw that. Uses passive or aggressive communication. Whoa, I know my husband doesn't like it if I'm just strutting around or wrinkling my nose or rolling my eyes. I know that sure doesn't move our relationship forward. Let's see if I can think of another way. I know that when my son starts yelling, which is aggressive communication, I know that I don't think much is going to get accomplished because I feel like staying away. And I feel like I don't think I'll be heard if somebody is aggressively communicating with me. So I would say that it's going to be a red word, a very reactive behavior. And sure enough, we have 1 to go. By the way, just so you know, there were or are an equal amount of red and green sticks in here. Just FYI. I'm not looking yet. Happiness is tied to something in the future. It's kind of like ER. Oh no, another day. No, I just can't be happy because I haven't made I haven't done anything today, or that check didn't come. My mom didn't make something I like to eat. I don't like my job, but I'm not going to do anything about it. So happiness is tied to something in the future, always waiting for it to happen. So it feels very red. So this kind of randomly came out like real life, how many more negative thoughts we have. But what I'd like to do is pull out a few green sticks just so we know what green feels like. Purposely pull out green. Joy. Joy is an emotion. It's just great. You start seeing, you get oxytocin and dopamine and endorphins when you feel joy, when you look at a baby, when you pet a dog, when you see your neighbor's Christmas lights go up, holiday lights go up, you experience joy. Just immediately almost start smiling. It's like, yay, you want to be around joyful people. reads nonverbal language effectively. Gosh, it's so nice when someone is going, maybe if you're on the bus or something, and somebody reads that you just want to continue reading your book or something. It's kind of nice that that person, they're moving forward because they realize, oh, I just need to mind my own business or do what I need to do, and they're moving forward with their own lives. And you're moving forward with yours because you've given them the signal that you'd like some quiet time or quiet space. Let me pick, here we go. Is not preoccupied with negative feelings or emotions. So you just don't let negative happen. You either say, I can't listen to this anymore. You go into another room. Because negativity just keeps people stuck, and we don't want to be stuck because you need to live while you're alive. And so as soon as you hear somebody who is positive and finds a way to be positive that day, that's a win. That's green light living. So let's see, like I said, I like the number 7. That's 1 green, 2, 3, 4. Let's really quickly, I'll just read these quickly without a lot further ado. Accept self and others. It's so nice to be accepted just for who you are. And that you can apply that grace to other people. I always have said too, about kids, if they would, they could. If they could, they would. So it's the grace of accepting somebody where they are and loving them for who they are and where they are. How time spent aligns with values. So this just says if you're unhappy with your job and you value well, that's not going to be a good one. Let's see. But how, in other words, if I spend a lot of time doing something I don't want to do, that I'm not valuing my time. I want to say help others. I love helping others. I love coaching. I love teaching. And so I spend a lot of time doing it, just like I'm spending a lot of time creating this class, because I want for people to be able to choose joy and spend their time wisely in accordance with their own values. And last but not least, is motivated by personal, well, what's interesting about values, is motivated by personal meaning and values. And how important is this to a joyful life or a life you want to lead and love? It's about creating a life you love because you're creating it. It's about your meaning in life. And you really, when you lead your life with passion, you carry others along with you. And that's a really good place to be. So with that being said, in order to make green light choices, some people make them naturally. I'll just say that. Some people make them very naturally and appear to have it all together. They don't spend much time at all. Well, first of all, they don't spend time here much at all. But they also have gotten really fast because they've done it so frequently. Positivity breeds positivity. And the choice becomes very short. They don't languish in, which direction should I move in? What should I go? They immediately go to a place of positivity or immediately go to get help or seek what they need. So let's see. I'm sorry here, but I do want to make sure. So in order to make green light choices, you have to really understand how our hardwiring and that negativity bias, how it loads the deck in its favor. It's really loaded here. And it's an obstacle for survival. It's a survival obstacle that it doesn't work in modern day life, but it's still there. It's always still there. So with the brain our brain holds a 4-to-1 negative ratio for survival. So we have to put more effort again, if we're not naturally a positive person, we have to put more effort into getting to the green side, so to speak, in an effort to get more positives in our lives. And it starts with what we do and say, and align what we do and say with our values. So paying attention, back to paying attention, because paying attention is, again, the basis of learning and the basis of making choices. So paying attention on purpose is so important that we have to build in contingency thinking in the form of habits. So here's where our habits come in. So if we decide to have habits in our list, we don't have to spend much time here because we've already built those behaviors into our lives through habits. So we're building in contingency thinking. I'm looking up to my notes because I'm making sure that contingency thinking, remembering too, we have a feeling brain that thinks. Not a thinking brain that feels, but that feeling brain that thinks with that 4-to-1 ratio towards negativity, whatever, it's loading the deck. However, two can play this game. And I believe that the two authors, kind of like in partnership with my thinking and definitely theirs, in ADHD 2.0, Rady was one of the authors, and I apologize, I don't have on my fingertips the other one. I'm going off notes. But they say, because you've probably heard neurons that wire together fire together. And so what you're doing is you're wiring towards positivity. So they always say two can play this game. The brain's playing its game of survival, and you can play the game of building positivity into your life. So I like how I feel personally too. I like how I feel very much when I'm positive and in action, moving towards what I want out of life. Green light. And the reason I'm teaching this course is because I want that for you too. Thank you.